One of the best features of Scan and Cut is the scanning feature. It is the only personal cutting machine in the market with a scanner included. I have Kathy Cantamario, aka Crafty Chica, to share with us some of her artwork and how she likes to use this feature with Scan and Cut. Kathy, I love what I'm seeing here, and it's just so sparkly, so you, and just, what is it that you were doing with this?
The scan feature is actually what really drew me into the Scan and Cut. Because I do a lot of artwork. I love to do the Mexican papel picado, Mexican paper cutting, but it takes hours to cut one design.
I can imagine.
So when I heard you could just scan in your artwork and it cuts it for you, I'm like, I want to try this. So here is my picture. And I just put it into the mat that we will then scan into the machine.
And this is really simple. I think that, again, this is one of my favorite features. I'm going to hit scan, and we are going to scan to cut data and load our paper and start. Now, explain to me too how you were doing this cutting beforehand, because that seems kind of laborious. So
yes, well, originally people would use the chisels and hammer it, and then craft knives came into play. That's what I use, as a cutting mat and a craft knife. And now with the Scan and Cut, I can just load my picture in and it cuts it for me. So granted, I love the traditional way, and I still do that to make my first art piece that I can frame and hang. But after that, my wrist starts hurting, so this will save so much time.
Well, I see it here on our screen.
Alrighty, so now what I'm using is this really fun shimmer sheet, and it has an iron-on adhesive backing, and once this cuts, it looks beautiful, crisp, and clean, and I decided instead of hanging it on the wall, I want to wear it. So I did the shimmer sheet and I ironed it on my clothing, and
Wonderful.
It came out beautifully, nice and
Well,
crisp.
let's cut one. Let's give it a try. Awesome.
Excellent.
So I'm looking at some of the other projects that you brought today, and one of my favorites is your little puppy princess power capes, and I know that you're a dog lover.
Yes,
and
I have 4 Chihuahuas at home.
Oh.
They need to be superheroes.
Yes, this is one of my favorites here. This cute little super puppy cape that I can imagine just one of your Chihuahuas enjoying his superpowers with this cape on.
And I actually used the built-in fonts in the Scan and Cut to write out Super Puppy and the paw print and the trim at the bottom. Using this shimmer sheet stuff, it came out nice and sparkly and perfect. I just ironed it onto fabric, added a little pom-pom fringe, and my doggies are ready to go.
Now, while this is cutting, let's look at the t-shirt that you made, because I am so impressed that this detail on such a thin fabric was able to cut.
Now, normally with this type of texture, that would be very hard to cut by hand with a craft knife.
I can imagine.
I couldn't imagine even trying to do it. And that's why I was so excited to try the scanning feature and see if it would work. And now that I know it does this, that's what inspired me to do the doggy capes. I'm like, what else can I cut with this stuff? It just came out so nice, and I can use all my own images, all my own drawings, and just scan them in there, keep them as a library, and mix and match them. I did canvas art with them.
Oh, wonderful.
Like large lips and words and phrases. So it really does go a long way.
I'm excited to see now that it's done cutting and just get an idea. Let me just peel off this corner here. Oh my goodness, look at that detail. Isn't that gorgeous?
See? It cuts just right to the very fine line.
That is beautiful. And that glitter, that just adds even more sparkle and just pizzazz. It's just really nice. And you can now iron it on to any project.
And I know when I wear this shirt, people are going to be, where did you get that?
Exactly.
I can say, I made it.
It's my own art. Well, thank you, Kathy, for sharing your wonderful art, your inspiration, as well as your projects. It's always fun to be able to craft with you.
Thank you.